Un ex ingeniero de la NASA hizo recientemente afirmaciones impactantes de que los humanos no solo están trabajando con tecnología extraterrestre, sino que también hay millones de dispositivos invisibles escondidos por todo el mundo. Richard Banduric, director ejecutivo de Field Propulsion Technologies, se unió al podcast Ecosystemic para revelar lo que sabía sobre los esfuerzos en curso en los Estados Unidos para aplicar ingeniería inversa a la tecnología extraterrestre recuperada de los OVNIS. El denunciante no sabía quién había estado dispersando estos objetos por todo el mundo, pero creía que eran diferentes de los restos que los expertos habían recuperado de naves espaciales estrelladas y podrían ser parte de una red de sensores encubierta. Banduric añadió que el gobierno de Estados Unidos y grupos de investigación privados habían encontrado muchos de estos dispositivos y estaban tratando de descubrir sus secretos. Son tipos de materiales realmente curiosos. Así es como pudimos saber que eran extraterrestres, porque estas cosas no estaban solo décadas por delante de nosotros, estaban cientos de años por delante, dijo Banduric en diciembre de 2024. La divulgación de esta información ultrasecreta del ex científico resurgió recientemente en las redes sociales a medida que más y más de los llamados disruptores espaciales se han presentado para revelar lo que saben sobre proyectos relacionados con los OVNIS. En cuanto a por qué algún grupo avanzado dispersaría objetos diminutos como parte de un sistema de monitoreo global, el ingeniero afirmó que los extraterrestres podrían estar tratando de influir en la sociedad humana. Tienen todo tipo de funciones. Esto realmente implica que tal vez este grupo en realidad está manipulando nuestra especie, advirtió Banduric en sus primeros comentarios públicos. Agregó que aún era posible adquirir estos dispositivos encubiertos repartidos por todo el mundo, pero su acceso había sido cortado por los grupos con los que trabajaba después de que decidió hacer público lo que sabía en 2024. Banduric había sido reclutado originalmente por el Departamento de Defensa de Estados Unidos y la Fuerza Aérea para trabajar en proyectos clasificados destinados a analizar sistemas de ovnis estrellados, como afirma a continuación.
They were smart materials. Like one of the things is when these materials, you'd be looking at them and you try and reverse engineer them, that they would turn to dust. And they would do it within a minute or two. And then so you could take the dust and then send it off and get the isotopic analysis done on them. And they were extraterrestrial. But these materials, I mean, we're looking at something that's hundreds of years ahead of us. When you look under a microscope, an electron microscope, you're looking at something that's composed of very small particles that seem to be communicating with one another. So those are the things that I've been involved in that we can talk about, but I think that's one of the reasons why extraterrestrial materials are not really available to most people, is because most of them are set to disintegrate if they get in the wrong hand. Isotopic analysis of the dust that's left behind tells you it's extraterrestrial, at least where it was manufactured. But so we're looking at materials that can reconfigure themselves. They are composed of small subunits. So the type of things I looked at were something as small as a sliver of metal. The head would reconfigure itself depending on where it was. It would cloak itself and it would try to blend into the environment. So the ones that this one NGO used to get a hold of were the ones that were technically broken. I guess the ones that didn't really function very well. So then you could collect them every once in a while and then try to analyze them. You could do things like split them apart. They would attempt to find each other or reconfigure. Some of the experiments they did was we took one of those and we put it on a very hot surface of about 3,000 degrees. And what it would do is it cooled the surface around itself. And then when we took the device off and then weighed it again, we would find that the mass would be reduced by a certain amount.
Do these feel like programmed materials to you, Richard?
Yeah, they were, like I was saying, they're more intelligent materials. Like these subunits probably had computational functionality, right? Because they knew what their neighbors were all about, and they knew they could reprogram themselves to be something different, right? If they needed to change themselves. So these are really curious types of materials. So that's how we could kind of tell they were extraterrestrial, because these things weren't like decades ahead of us. They were probably hundreds of years ahead of us.